happy Sesquicentennial. And guess who's celebrating a Sesquicentennial? Not this guy, but a guy who knows about Kearney celebrating its birthday, 150 years as of December 30th. Brock Anderson is joining me right now. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, we're talking everything history and historic about Kearney. And like those kids just said, happy Sesquicentennial. So if we open the history books, which, you know, Brock, you're very good at doing, we know that Kearney, actually December 3rd, 1873, is when we kind of started wishing happy birthday to Kearney. So lots to celebrate.
Yeah, so, and even then, that's the year that we incorporated as a city. So prior to that, we have the Union Pacific Railroad that's coming through, that's Transcontinental Railroad, in 1866. And then in 1871, we have a junction from the Burlington line that comes up and establishes this thing called, well, this might be a village or a town. So we were known as Kearney Junction in 1871.
How many people lived here about that time? Do we know?
Less than 100.
I was going to say like 100 or so, yeah.
Less than 100. And then by 1872, November of 1872, we officially had about 200 people. And so we decided we were going to incorporate as a village. And then by December 3rd, 1873, we became the city of Kearney. So,
do you have to have so many people in a city to become a city back then, or even now?
Yeah, because again, there's a reason why Nebraska wasn't a part of the Union prior to the Civil War. And so there has to be a certain amount of population within the state or within a community in order to form as a community like that.
Well, Mr. Historian that he is going to share some pictures with us. And I love old pictures because this really gives you a sense of the history of a city or town you're living in. This first one is the Midway Hotel. Look at that. Tell us a little bit of this history.
So to talk about the Midway Hotel, you have to understand how Kearney grew in such a short period of time. It's called our boom period. And so we have all these investors, we have people that are coming just to see the land. We were a wide open space at one point.
Why investors to Kearney, Nebraska?
Well, we have George Frank, who of the Frank House or the Frank Museum. He's the one that's pulling all these people. And when they come here, they need a place to stay.
And that's a ritzy looking place.
It is. That was the uptown place to go. And so they built this hotel to impress people to invest, like, hey, this is a progressing city. We have electricity, we have this awesome hotel, and then by early 1900, we had the Kearney Opera House. So you have this industry, this business, and then you also have this arts and culture scene that's just right down the road from the Midway Hotel.
And it's too bad that's not here anymore.
I know, and that one was the one that burnt down.
Yes. I remember hearing these stories from you in the past. That was like way ahead of its time. I mean, look at that place. And then the next picture, and we were just talking about this, it's of a cotton mill. So cotton was shipped here from the coast, right?
Yeah, so there was no cotton grown here. The cotton mill here was specifically going to process it. It was just west of town. They even brought some houses and labor to work out at the cotton mill, but it was never profitable. In fact, they were in the deficits the whole time that it was in business. But
so where was that building standing, and where was that at?
So you know where the cotton mill lake, if you will.
Yes.
It would just be to the east of that.
Sure.
The foundation's still out there.
Is it really?
So
that's cool.
Yeah, and at one point there was an amusement park that was right where the cotton mill building was too.
So hence Cotton Mill Park, is this where the names comes from?
Yes, yep, because again that lake is the reservoir for it. So.
Very neat. I love history. And then this is a beautiful picture. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, this is my favorite picture because it epitomizes everything that Kearney wanted to be and what it became. So the electric car downtown, you see, I think there's about 4 or 5 of those electric cars there. But the point that my eyes go directly to is that light bulb hanging right there in the middle of the street. So this was a photograph by A.T. Anderson, and this was shipped off further east to the coast to draw those investors in.
Wow. That is so neat when you think of how a city celebrates from where it was to where it is today, and you look at these wonderful pictures. And then, so the celebrations This is, again, 1733 Estates. A lot of people know where this is.
Yeah, so this is Lincoln Highway. We've got 1733 Ranch, originally the Watson Ranch. But again, we have this touristy element that's coming about in our Kearney community. And that's well after our boom period. So we're really going for this fact that people should come to Kearney because we are the halfway point between San Francisco and Boston.
Yep. And so there's a list of activities that are going to be taking place because we want to celebrate 150 years of our history. So many great things going on this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just in fact, yesterday we were setting up the bison exhibit, and that took alone about 5-6 hours, and it was great. We had a great partnership with UNK History Department. We had several GAs come in and help establish that. We've got a Smithsonian traveling exhibit coming in. We've got the Kearney 150 exhibit. We've got the birthday party. Just a lot of great things happening this year.
Yeah.
And this is just a few of those items that BCHS is doing. We have a lot of other entities in town that are participating.
So all of Kearney is celebrating, and you know, a lot of people need to be celebrating along, and you know, like Brock said, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So we need to celebrate Kearney. We need to celebrate our heritage, our history, from where we've been to where we're going. So I know you got a busy year ahead, you know, being a historian and knowing a lot about Kearney, lots of ways to celebrate, so I'm sure we'll be tapping into you all year round. So
yep, I'd love to come back and talk about Kearney history.
Kearney history. This is the guy that knows it all. Do I call you doctor now?
Nope, I don't have my PhD. I just got my master's this last year.
Got your master's, okay. So, well, I'm sure the doctor thing will come soon enough, but we appreciate you. I love your knowledge of history and your enthusiasm, so thanks for sharing that with all of us.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me come on.
Absolutely. And we'll be back with more NTV's Good Life. Stay with us, friends.